Time to go, Mrs. Oswald.
Mrs. Oswald is coming down now.
Folks, you gotta stay back out of the way here.
Roger that.
Keep moving, man. Keep moving. No, it's nothing here, folks. Nothing to see now.
On the perimeter. Pull him around.
You need to bring up right.
Any ideas that her husband planning this? Did he talk about it and her husband was planning it? Stop off the questions first, please.
Trouble your calls here. Get out.
President Killer!
You did it!
Lucky you're not shot down now.
Stay back. Now give us some room here, please. Give us some room. I'm sure glad they got that husband of yours.
You got for hanging!
Poor child!
You know Lee Harvey personally?
What are you teaching them kids?
He's a murderer!
He was no friend of mine.
Will you be staying in Irving tonight?
Red! You don't deserve no decent girl!
He was in on it!
That's sacred ground there.
Behind the chairs here, fellas. Stay behind.
We had a little problem, but we're ready to go now.
Aren't you going home, you commie?
Please give us some privacy.
Commie spy! You heard the men, boys. Back it up now.
Still have hope for a miracle. Back
May the Lord, who is ever merciful and sparing punishment, accept our prayers for compassion and forgiveness. And may the soul of Lee Harvey Oswald rest in peace with all the Lord's children in spite of this awful transgression.
We're in there with them.
Probably told him to do it!
Here you are. Thanks.
Why did your husband want to shoot the president?
Lee had good opinion of President Kennedy. He only said good things.
Just answer the question.
He admired the president. He cried when Mrs. Kennedy lost the baby.
Why'd your husband go to Russia?
I told you everything. The government knows more than I do.
Who is A.J. Hiddell, Mrs. Oswald? Is this the rifle your husband purchased in March of 1963?
I really cannot be sure. To me, a rifle looks like old rifles.
You're here on a temporary visa. You can be deported at any time.
You are making a big mistake, Marina. You better start thinking about your children's future.
I'll ask you one more time. Why did your husband kill the president?
Perhaps he wanted to leave his mark on history.
What is mark on history?
The evidence is overwhelming. The rifle shells matched the gun. The gun has your husband's fingerprints. The gun was found on the 6th floor of the book depository where he worked.
Marina, on the chair. Your husband killed the president?
Do you have any idea what kind of questions you're going to be asking me, Marina?
Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Please, sit down. Let me start by explaining to you that we asked you here in order to fully investigate the death of President Kennedy and the arrest of your late husband, Lee Harvey Oswald. Do you understand that? For the record, would you give your complete name, please?
Marina Nikolaevna Prusakova Oswald.
In other words, you're saying that the rifle remained in the garage until the morning of the assassination.
No, well, it is hard to determine when the rifle was taken. I only assume it was Friday because Lee had come so unexpectedly the night before.
You never saw him take the rifle?
Yeah, I assume he came to Janet's house for two reasons. One was to make up because we had fight, and the other was to get the rifle.
Do you have any idea as to the motive which induced your husband to kill President Kennedy?
I can only conclude that he wanted in some way to be outstanding, that he wanted to leave his mark on history.
So, then it is your belief.
And that is my opinion. I do not know how true it is.
In other words, you have arrived at this conclusion, that your husband did kill President Kennedy.
From the evidence you showed me, yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Any comment? What feeling? How did they treat you in there?
Come on, Ray, just one question. Come on.
You did fine, Marina. Feel good about yourself.
What are you doing?
The government can't protect you forever. We don't feel you're in any danger now.
You are leaving?
I'm sure you'll be okay on your own.
Where am I going to live? What about all my things, all the photographs and letters that were taken? We had many beautiful things in Russia.
That material has been impounded.
Sorry, I don't understand. What is impounded?
You stay here for another couple of weeks if you want, as long as you're out by the end of the month.
Mrs. Oswald?
So take care of yourself.
We need just one room with even just, how do you say, bed that pulls out.
What is your native language, ma'am?
I'm very sorry. My English is still very bad, but
I can't help you. These apartments aren't furnished.
wait for me here and I'll pick you up at 4 o'clock, okay? Yeah, sure.
And how old is Julie?
She has just turned 3.
Do you have her medical form? Father's name?
Yeah, he is deceased.
Well, we still need his name for our records.
Yeah, Oswald. Lee Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald?
married to the guy.
Is that a problem? Does it excite you?
Why did your husband kill the president? The evidence is overwhelming. The rifle shells match the gun. The gun has your husband's fingerprints.
Perhaps he wanted to leave his mark on history.
The whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You have arrived at this conclusion, that your husband did kill President Kennedy.
Yes.
Say, I'm a daddy, Bob.
What's the little sucker like in bed?
Until I met Kenneth Porter, it seemed like the nightmare of the assassination would go on forever. Kenneth was a godsend. He helped me put the pain and horror of the assassination behind me. He made us into a new family, and he gave my children a new last name. But for all those years, I'd been living with the guilt that my husband had killed President Kennedy. And with the feeling that somehow I should have been able to stop him. I shortened the hem a little.
Oh, well, that's great. Well,
No, but I just pinned it up. I still need to see it on you.
I don't have time right now. We'll try and save you some seats, but you still better get there early.
And what about dinner?
We'll all get a bite to eat after the recital.
Don't worry, I'll sell the hem at school.
Judy, please, here's the bag. Will you put your dress in it?
I promise I'll do it. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Very nice. Next will be Julie Porter, a sophomore honor student who will read a poem that she has written entitled Noble Bird. Julie?
A noble bird with wings spread wide,